Hey everybody, this is Derek Whalen, technical agronomist with Channel on the Southern Illinois team. I want to take a few moments to do a quick refresher on growing degree units, or sometimes called GDDs or growing degree days. So that formula is taking our max daily temperature plus our minimum temperature, dividing by 2, and then subtracting our base temperature, which is always typically 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I do want to mention that the range is 85 degrees as the high, 50 degrees as the low. Typically, thinking about corn, anything higher than 85 degrees, we don't see as optimal of growing conditions. Corn doesn't like really any heat higher than that. So we take 85 as our typical high or high range, and 50 degrees is our low. So for this example, I'm going to use a maximum daily temperature for a given day of 80 degrees. An example of 70 degrees being the low that particular day. So we add those together, we get 150, divide that by 2 gives us 75. We then subtract that constant base temp, which is typically always 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which gives us 25 GDUs for this example. So we're at that point in the planting season, had a couple of planting windows up in central Illinois, a day or two of soybeans being planted in southern Illinois, south of I-70, but we've been wetter as we move further south. But we've been getting a few questions of, hey, I planted a couple weeks ago, not seeing my corn or beans coming up. When can I expect it to come up? Why isn't it coming up? So a big part of this is accumulating GDUs. So I want to walk through a couple different planting dates, starting with April 12th and looking at corn emergence. Corn typically takes about 100 to 120 GDUs to come up. Soybeans are closer to that 100 mark. So looking at April 12th planting date, I've got graphed out here 6 locations in central and southern Illinois, those being Carbondale, Champaign, Jacksonville, Mattoon, Mount Vernon, and O'Fallon. And you can see this color coded here, kind of the upper right of our screen, and how many GDUs we've accumulated thus far up to today, which is April 19th, and then the forecasted GDUs and how many we have total accumulated going out into early May. So this data, anything previously, that's historical data from the Weather Channel, and then the forecasted high and low temps we're using from the Weather Channel as well to give us our anticipated GDUs over the next few weeks. So looking at April 12th again, starting with Carbondale, here's the first to be emerged. Later today and tomorrow, we expect emergence. Anything planted around that Carbondale location. As we move further north, more quiet as warm, expect an emergence over the next couple days out into the 21st, 22nd. So roughly 7, 8 to upwards of 10, 11 days total for emergence from that April 12th planting date last Wednesday. Thinking back to last week, we had some nice temperatures really all week, pretty warm temperatures into the high 70s, low 80s. So we racked up quite a few GDUs last week, and I'll get to that later on in the slide. So shifting our planting date to April 15th, again looking at Carbondale as our furthest south location. Anything planted around April 15th, we're expecting emergence roughly April 25th to 26th. So a little bit later planting date than the 12th, obviously. Still have some nice temperatures on the past couple days, but looking out over the next few days, getting down to lows in the 50s over Saturday and Sunday. So that kind of slows down and stretches out our total days to emergence based on our GDU calculations. So looking at least 10 to 11 days for Carbondale and a few more as we move further north. Looking at April 18th, anything planted yesterday, we expect emergence again for Carbondale roughly April 29th. And then for those further north locations, Jacksonville, Mattoon, Champaign, even O'Fallon, Mount Vernon, we expect really into the first couple days of May for emergence for those particular locations. Theoretically, we're looking at a planting date 2 days from now, April 21st. We're looking at emergence for Carbondale beginning about May 3rd, May 4th, and then out through May 7th. So stretching out, taking a little bit longer to accumulate growing degree units as we think about our forecast or look at our forecast over the next 7 to 10 days. not real favorable for racking up growing degree units. And as I mentioned, I'm gonna show a chart here in a second. And then theoretically, April 24th, so 5 days from now, again, we're still out May 5th, out into May 7th, May 8th. Expected emergence from a April 24th planning date. So I talked about, last week we had some really nice days of growing degree unit accumulation. This particular location, our yellow bar chart, is Mount Vernon, and I have it beginning on April 12th. So you can see April 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, about an average of 13 and a half to 14 GDUs we were accumulating. So some really nice days of GDU accumulation. But as we got to the 16th, 17th, got a little bit colder. Have a couple days early this week, even today on the 19th. We're expected to get 21 GDUs for Mount Vernon. But again, as I mentioned, looking to Saturday and Sunday of this week, the 22nd, 23rd, with highs, I believe 55 and 56 degrees respectively in Mount Vernon, we're only expected to get 2.5 and 3 GDUs. And then the week after that, highs in the mid 60s. Not a real strong forecast for accumulating GDUs over the next 7 to 10 days, which is why on a few of those later planning dates, we are expected to take closer to 10, 11, even 15, 16 days for emergence from our planning dates. So again, quick refresher on GDUs, how we calculate those, and what we can expect from a few of our planning dates last week, the 12th, 15th, 18th, and then a few of the days coming up, if we were to plant, what that would look like as far as expected emergence. So thanks for watching.